Every time you tap your phone, switch on a light, or turn the key in your car engine, you are harnessing a force that has been shaping human civilization for hundreds of thousands of years: fire. Much of our modern world still depends on combustion. Electricity, global transport, manufacturing, heating, and space exploration all rely on our ability to control thermal energy. Yet today, fire is so ordinary that we rarely give it a second thought. Now imagine stepping back nearly 1 million years into the past. An early human stands at the edge of a blazing forest fire. Flames sweep across the brush, and animals scatter in blind terror. There is no understanding of chemistry, no concept of oxygen, and no knowledge of fuel or combustion. There's only heat, light, smoke, and a raw force capable of reducing giant trees to ash. As the animals flee, one creature stays. Instead of running, it watches. It steps forward carefully, and eventually, it discovers something that will alter the trajectory of human history forever. Fire can be controlled. So, how did this actually happen? And here's the twist. The controlled use of fire may not have been discovered by Homo sapiens at all, but by earlier human species that lived long before us. To trace this story, we have to look deep into the archaeological record. In South Africa, there is an extraordinary site known as Wonderwork Cave. Inside, archaeologists uncovered traces of ancient fire, burned bones, ash, and heat-altered soil, dating back roughly 1 million years. What makes this discovery so compelling is its location. These traces were found deep within the cave system, far beyond where a natural wildfire or lightning strike could reach. This strongly suggests that early humans were deliberately bringing fire inside and maintaining it. 1 million years ago, modern humans did not exist. So who was managing these flames? The evidence points to Homo erectus, an ancestor with a smaller brain and a very different physical build than ours. Yet, they were performing something extraordinary, turning one of nature's most destructive forces into a domestic tool. Similar evidence from Gesher Beno Yaakov in Israel shows structured hearths dating back 790,000 years, proving that fire was becoming a central part of daily life. However, keeping a naturally found flame alive is one thing. Creating fire from scratch is a completely different challenge. For hundreds of thousands of years, early humans relied on nature to supply fire, whether from lightning strikes, volcanic activity, or intense heat igniting dry brush. When they found a wildfire, they would collect burning branches and carry them back to their camps. The main struggle was preservation. Without matches or lighters, letting a fire die out meant waiting months or even years for another natural strike. Fire was treated like a sacred, irreplaceable resource. So, how did humans make the leap from fire keepers to fire makers? It was not a sudden stroke of genius, but a series of accidental breakthroughs discovered while crafting everyday tools. First came the spark method. While shaping stone tools, early humans struck flint against iron-rich rocks like pyrite. They noticed that these hard impacts produced bright sparks. When those sparks landed on dry tinder or fungus, it began to smolder. By adding oxygen with a gentle blow, a tiny spark turned into a flame. Second was the friction method. When shaping wood into spears or digging sticks, humans spent long periods rubbing or drilling one piece of wood against another. The friction generated intense heat, turning fine wood dust into a glowing ember. Placing that ember inside a nest of dry grass created fire on demand. With these discoveries, humans were no longer dependent on nature. For the first time, we became the masters of fire. This breakthrough transformed human biology. The single biggest change was cooking. Cooked food is softer, easier to digest, and delivers significantly more calories for less physical effort. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham proposed the cooking hypothesis, the idea that cooking played a crucial role in expanding the human brain. The human brain accounts for only 2% of our body weight, yet consumes roughly 20% of our resting energy. Cooked food freed up vital metabolic energy, fuel that allowed our brains to grow larger and more complex. Fire also redefined the night. Lacking night vision, sharp claws, or dense fur, humans were vulnerable after sunset. Fire provided warmth, light, and protection, keeping dangerous predators at bay. Equally important was its social impact. Gathering around the campfire after dark created humanity's very first social network. Around the flames, early humans shared food, repaired tools, bonded, and passed down stories. This shared warmth fostered the development of complex language, culture, and community. Over time, fire evolved from a basic survival mechanism into a transformative industrial tool. Indigenous populations, such as Aboriginal Australians, developed sophisticated land management practices, using controlled burning to clear brush and promote new growth. Later, extreme heat allowed humans to bake clay into pottery, melt sand into glass, and forge metals, copper, bronze, and iron. Entire civilizations were built on metallurgy. Fast forward to the modern era. Steam engines powered the Industrial Revolution. Internal combustion engines built modern transport. Thermal plants generate much of our power, and rocket engines propel us into space, all driven by controlled thermal energy. Humans did not invent fire. It existed millions of years before us. But we learned to understand it, transport it, recreate it, and harness it to reshape the planet. It was not the work of a single inventor, but a shared legacy passed down through thousands of generations. So the next time you strike a match, light a candle, or turn on your stove, take a moment to reflect. You are handling a technology born from 1,000,000 years of human persistence, survival, and curiosity. We didn't invent fire. We learned to master it. And that was the moment everything changed.